This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Hello Internet, it is me, Taliesin.
And me too, hi.
We're doing it again, Evitel.
We're doing it.
We're doing the 2-camera setup thing again because we enjoyed it so much last time to talk about the new expansion.
We did. I loved it. And you know what? I miss things like the grind. Do you remember the grind?
Oh, before the kids.
I know. We'd get up in the morning and we'd do the grind.
We'd do it whenever we felt like it.
I know, it was amazing.
We wouldn't even have to make time
in front
for it.
of everyone on Twitch.
Yeah.
It was great. It was just such a nice way to like chat and catch up about like news and stuff, but also like get into a couple topics more deeply.
Yeah, and we have a topic today. Don't worry, this is not like a random talk. We have a very, very important topic to talk about today.
We do.
Can we get straight into it?
Let's get in there.
Okay, I'm going to put this in YouTube terms because this is a YouTube video.
Uh-oh.
Evitel.
Yeah.
Is 10.1 a flop?
It is not a flop.
I'm editing that so it just says it is. I'm going to have you going, it is. And then we can, that's it. Now do something sexy for the thumbnail and we're done. We can go home.
I walked right into that trap.
Another successful video.
Oh, ka-ching. No, I don't. It's definitely not a flop, but I'm not playing it a lot, am I?
Oh, wow. Okay, Evitel, I've met you before and I know that you're about to go into some like hardcore criticism here. You've got that look on your face. So I feel like, first of all, let's set a proper tone here. Dragonflight, in general. Would you still say it's a very good expansion?
I love Dragonflight.
Would you still say it's one of the best expansions? Because we have said that.
We have said that. I think it is. I mean, time will tell, but I think given what we've had so far, I think it's been like brilliant.
Yeah, and I agree. And like I want to preface this by saying that now, even still, I still consider Dragonflight to be like one of the all-time top 3 expansions. If someone came up to me and said, was like, Tally, I think Dragonflight is the best expansion, I wouldn't argue with them.
Wow.
No, I wouldn't argue with them at all.
What do you think? So you think that Dragonflight is the best expansion?
I think it has potential to be the best expansion. I think there's nothing in the game now which would mean it's not the best expansion. Like it would need to go downhill to not be the best expansion of all time, but that hasn't happened yet. Or has it?
Or
has it happened with
10.1?
Because I was sitting in my house, this house, and I was reading about World of Warcraft as I do, and I was looking forward to 10.1.5. Yeah, megadungeon, time rifts, lots of cool stuff, more story. Yeah. And I noticed that some people were pretty down on 10.1 on the forums and stuff. And, it made me think about a few things. And then I was asking you about it, and you kind of said some of the same things that the people online were saying. I'm not saying that you're getting all of your views from the forums. I'm not saying that. But where are we at with 10.1 at the moment with you?
Yeah, sure. I've been playing WoW a bit differently recently with like 2 kids and stuff. I'm not heroic rating for one. But even with that, I'm just not playing loads of 10.1. I'm just not in there. And when I say in there, I mean in Zaralek Caverns.
Is there anything about 10.1 that you don't like? Because here's the thing. I'm the same. I have not been logging into 10.1 all that much, relative to how much I don't log in every day. Sometimes I log in, I've got like a personal work order, and I'm like, oh, what how long that's been there? Sorry, dude. So here's your staff back. I have had to skip the last couple of raids because of life things and what have you. And I realized that without that, I just wasn't logging in so much. And yet, if you asked me if I thought 10.1 was good, I'd say, yeah, it's brilliant. It's really, really good because all of the individual kind of parts of 10.1, I think are really good and are fantastic. But for some reason, it's not combining to make me log in and be excited about it every day. Would you say that's accurate? Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I went through, I did kind of the Loam Nif and stuff. And when I say I did it, I did the story bits. My rep with them is like 2. Like
You care so little about Dragonflight Renown.
Exactly.
You don't even call it Renown. It's like, I don't care what you call yourself.
Well, and this happened in like the main campaign as well. I played it to get to where I would naturally in the game, or to like progress the story, and then beyond that I don't. Or say I want like some of the scales, like different colored scales, I'll grind that or whatever. But I have felt like zero incentive to grind out Loam Niffin, and yeah, I just nothing is compelling me to do it, despite how much I like them. They're cool. I mean, when Farak came through and like decimated, Loam, I was like hollering downstairs. I was like, okay, hold on.
I heard the shout.
Yeah.
I came running down the stairs. I was like, is everything okay? And you were like, no, it's not.
No.
This dude, Firak.
That guy. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. But yeah, for some reason, I'm just not logging back into it. I'm not going in there. Nothing's pulling me back in.
What have you done in 10.1? What have you done? Have you done the Firak assault things?
I've done the Suffusion camps. Yeah, loved those. Those are super cool, actually.
How many did you do?
I did like 2.
What reward did you get from them?
I don't remember, but I opened the chest and it went and I got something
and
out
here's
of
the
it.
thing, I'm completely into content for content's sake.
Yeah.
Like I really love that. Likewise, have you done any snail racing?
I haven't touched snail racing.
Have you done the Sniffin' Niffin game?
I have done the Sniffin' Niffin game once. I did it once.
Have you done probably not then? Have you done like trading bricks and stuff with the Niffin?
God, no, I haven't, and I've got them. That's the thing. I know that there is all of this content there
because all of this stuff is content that I was like, when I read about it, I was like, that sounds great, and I can't wait to do it. And then I did it, and it was really fun. And I was like, I look forward to doing this more. And then I didn't. But even more than that, when I read about it, I was like, wow, this is so up Evie's camp. Like, she's gonna love this.
Me too.
Evie's gonna be all over this Sniffin' Niffin game. She's gonna love it. And I think it's fair to say you do love it, but not enough to do it. And this is the entire crux of this entire video, right? And what we're talking about. Okay. We have got to a stage in WoW, which is the stage we wanted to be at, where like so little is mandatory. And not only that, but the kind of the more organized parts of the game, like Aberrus was a very, very easy raid.
Yeah.
That's why that's my aim in every patch, right? Is to get the raid down on heroic with our heroic guild. And you can laugh, but it usually takes like 2, maybe 3 months to do that.
You guys usually grind it.
Progressing twice a week. And that's good. That's what we aim for. That's what it's kind of always landed at. And that's always been really fun. And you do things around that. And I find that most of what I do is with that in mind. So when I'm running my Mythic Plus, it's because I want to get stuff in my vault to make raid easier and what have you. And I enjoy the Mythic Plus as a result. Like I was doing Torghast and Shadowlands because I wanted the rewards that would make raid easier and stuff like that. And we wanted to step away from that a little bit. And so the raid is a bit easier. This like much on heroic level.
You say
much,
a bit.
Much easier.
You guys were wrapped it. Like,
I don't think it's unfair to say that heroic level Aberrus for a multitude of reasons is like what you'd usually expect normal to be. In fact, in many ways, we blew through it quicker than normal. We would on a different tier, you know. Like we got to Sarkareth on our first raid night in heroic, and Sarkareth took us a while, but like
this isn't like to brag. It's just it was just easier.
Yeah.
Even the like the casual normal raids that I would log in for these days, like. I join, a bit late, helping put kids to bed. I log in. I'm like, okay, ready to, probably got a couple bosses down. And like, they're literally on Sarkareth.
Yeah.
And I managed to join for the Sarkareth pull and kill. And that's it. And then in the following weeks, like it just fizzled out. Whereas that's something that usually we would keep going in our guild, like this kind of steady, normal going up into heroic raid. And it's just done.
And you might think, well, that sucks because I won't be able to get all the gear I need. But I have no trouble having all the gear I need. And that's the thing. So like I'm getting gear in heroic because we are farming heroic as well. But I'm also just getting gear from Mythic Plus and things like that. And I can upgrade it using the brilliant upgrade system to whatever level I want. I haven't had to use the catalyst. I got Keystone Master. So that I could get my Omni token for raid, so I can have my 4 set. Because I was like, I can't not have 4 set before we kill the final boss of heroic. So I was like, worked really hard to get my 4 set, running Mythic Pluses and stuff, and I did, and I had 4 set on when I killed Sarkareth, and it was great. But then, so I haven't used the catalyst at all, and I've got all the gear I need. I just need to run a couple more M pluses so I can upgrade it to the maximum mythic level that it can be, and. None of this is a bad thing.
No, it's brilliant.
Everything I've just said is praise. The upgrade system is really good. most people, like our guild was probably a bit disappointed with how easy heroic was, but the general sentiment in the world seems to be that everyone's actually kind of cool with it. Actually, it's kind of all right, and they prefer it that way. Like, I think people generally prefer the gear being this easy to get, and I think people generally prefer just, not having to log on so much. But for me, I don't know, I kind of miss having to log on, because
I know what you mean.
all these things that we're talking about, right? I thought the sniffing niffing game was brilliant. Really, really good. At its best, it's kind of like the Lost Vikings. You go into these different rooms and there's a little puzzle which you need to utilize the skills of your niffing companion to solve. And it's really cool, and I really like it. Really great. I was really looking forward to doing more of that. The snail racing, not really my bag, but I was like, I want the snail. It's easy enough. I'll do it. It's pretty fun. Like doing weightlifting with a drug bar, stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like the little events that happen around everywhere. The researchers event is really good, really fun. The suffusion camps. Yeah. Still don't know what I get from them. I can't really remember, but I really enjoyed them. They were wild. There were explosions happening everywhere. Like, you felt under pressure. You felt like you're in a war zone. It was really, really cool. I like the vibe of Zaralek and Aberrus very much. And I guess the thing is, I can like the sniffing niffing game as much as I like. I'm never going to log on for it. And I can like snail racing as much as you like. I'm never going to log on for it. I can like dragon races as much as you like. And I've completed all the dragon races in Zaralek, and I loved it. Really enjoyed doing that. But I'm never really going to log on for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's so funny because this is what we've been asking for, right? Like, people have wanted ways to gear up without going through raids or Mythic Plus, for example. Like, we've gotten this amazing, like, patch and content release cadence, which is, like, incredible because we're always, getting loads of communication, getting loads of content. Like, you see it on the horizon, it's delivered, like, it's awesome. And that is, like, I only have praise for that. But suddenly, we have been given everything, and I think I no longer know exactly what I'm logging in for, because I don't know. Like, would I log in to do the snail races? Yeah, probably not. Another thing is like transmog and the gear sets are amazing. Like, they're like visually, they're super cool. Like, they're brilliant. And I remember seeing them drop, on the PTR and being like, oh my God, that's like the level of the game is just being across the board, like upgraded, like visually in terms of content, like just sheer amount of content as well. But now suddenly I have that. Like, I logged in and I played the game and I got my set. And now I'm not like fishing for cool transmogs anymore, because I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm good.
It's wild. It's wild. And I'm not quite at the stage where I want to be doing that on alts yet either. So, a genuine criticism, because we've been saying a lot of praise kind of dressed up as kind of confused criticism, really, or like maybe confused criticism dressed up as praise right now. But like, there's a genuine criticism that I'm seeing of 10.1, which I can understand completely, is that as a gameplay loop, it's very much the same as Forbidden Reach. Now, Forbidden Reach, I think, will go down as one of the best patches ever for what it was. When you consider it was the the third patch of a tier. You had 10.0, 10.05, 10.07. So it's the third one of the first tier of the expansion. And what you got in that patch, considering the kind of patch it was, you got a new zone, essentially. You got like activities around the zone and this simple but really effective gameplay loop of going around hunting rares, basically.
Oh, I love that. When I saw those rares pop on the map, even before like I did anything else there, I just started going for the rares because it was just so exciting.
It was so cool. And the thing was, because it was so late in the patch, and this is kind of an advantage that it has over Zaralek Caverns, it was so late in the patch that it was able to go, hey, do you want tokens that basically just give you heroic raid gear? And it's like
throwing them out like candy.
There you go, and you can put these in the catalyst. Your alts have like 6 charges of catalyst, so all you got to do is farm them, and you can get like. And I did. Kaboom. I spent so much time in Forbidden Reach with a spreadsheet for my 13 alts, getting all the things, sending them to each other because it was all account wide as well, and getting 4 set on all my alts, getting the heroic transmogs on all my alts and normal transmogs as well.
Nice.
And like organizing it in my head, so I'd make sure I got this on normal and put it in the catalyst in normal, so I could get the transmog in normal before I upgraded it to heroic, etc., etc. And then I had to do it again in heroic, And it was a really, really good loop, and it was great, and it was effective because the rewards were worth doing, and I knew exactly why I was doing it. And then Zaralak has much more besides, but also has that loop of flying around like killing rares and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not as good or rewarding as the Forbidden Reach version, and it comes straight hot on the heels of the Forbidden Reach, so there is a sense of repeating the same content.
It's also underground.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't know. There's something about like underground, underwater zones, which can be really amazing.
Look, Zaralek Caverns kind of surpassed all my expectations as a zone. I think it like has no right to be as beautiful and interesting and as varied, as atmospheric as it is.
I love like the sound design. I feel like people don't talk about the sound design of Zaralek
sound design
enough.
Zaralek is incredible.
It's so cool. It's
like
so good.
It's a triumph. Like I think it's, you know, an incredible zone. Everything about it, the way you get down to it is fantastic. But I maintain shouldn't have underground patch zones. Like I maintain patch zones should not have a roof. Like this is what I'm sorry, like it's brilliant, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But there is something contained about it. And this is a good thing about it as well. But in terms of like feeling out in a world and kind of Forbidden Reach, you could see the rest of the Dragon Isles. You know, you outside, you had like a big stormy sky and stuff, and you know you could fly. I know you can with Zaralek, but it doesn't really feel like you can.
It's different, isn't it?
And so it's not my biggest criticism, but I think overall, don't put roofs on patch zones. And you know, like 10.1.5 is going to move us out of there as well, because even if 10.1 is a flop, relatively, it doesn't matter so much because the patch cadence is so quick that you never get stuck in a rut with any content. You know, if there is some content that comes out that doesn't really vibe with you or doesn't really connect with you and that you don't love, you know what? In like 2 months, there's going to be more. There's going to be like a whole different thing. But
that is like a double-edged sword, because like I love seeing the deluge of content, the rush of like just there's so much of it, and I know there's so much more coming, and I love that. But it's almost like because it's happening so fast, I know that there are bits that I can just no. You wash out your mouth. You do not say that. No, don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those the content is coming too quick people. You're the reason every bad thing has happened in the last few years. No, I'm having none of that. There wasn't enough, now there's too much.
I don't like always too much.
Oh, there's just too much. No,
I completely disagree with that.
No.
Okay, what's the best thing about 10.1?
Oh, the quests, I think. The quest lines, specifically the blue Dragonflight quest line.
See, even I agree, by the way, and I think the blue Dragonflight questline will go down as one of the best things in WoW ever. I think it will be one of the things that people talk about, not for the same reasons, but you know how people talk about the Green Fire quest for Warlocks, and the kind of reverence they give that. And they're like, this is this thing that happened. It was really good, and you know, it was just great, and there's nothing bad about it. It's just fantastic. It's something we look back on really fondly. I think that's definitely the way people will talk about the blue Dragonflight quest.
It's so good. It's not even mandatory. It's not even like the main story quest.
Well, I mean, so we are going to talk about the Blue Dragonflight quest. But here's the thing. As you know, I haven't done it.
He hasn't done it.
And here's the thing. I really want to. And I know
you
that
talk
it's good.
about it all the time.
Me, who hasn't played it, literally just called it the best thing in 10.1. Okay? So, like, you don't have to persuade me to play it. I want to play it. And the reasons I haven't played it are because of the things that I like about the idea. Like, it's really long. It's really involved. And I want to be able to give it the attention that it deserves. I want to play it from, like, a YouTube point of view. I want to be able to play it all in one go, get all my footage, and, like, really enjoy it and take notes if I want to. So I know it's going to take me, like, 3 hours, right? And I don't have time to do that during the day because I've got to work and I, you know, like making videos and stuff. And so when I put the kids to bed and I come upstairs and I'm ready to do some gaming and I'm like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. do I have 3 hours to do the Blue Dragonflight questline? Would I be able to give it the attention it deserves right now? So most of the time I'm just like...
And you have to. You do have to pay attention to it. Exactly. And that's like the joy in it. Like there's so much detail and it's so character driven. And I know you haven't played it, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But basically you go on this journey. Caligos is like, we need to put Sindragosa and Malagos, like we just need to put this to rest. Their souls are like we just need them to just
sounds amazing.
And that takes you on a journey kind of through the history of the Blue Dragonflight and like through Azeroth. You go to like all these different parts of Azeroth along the way and, meet known characters, but also new characters, referencing things that have happened in the past. Like, I mean, you go to Theramore and stuff happens at Theramore, which you might, have a guess around like what kind of content happens there. And then the story kind of wraps up, but then there's an epilogue, which is also like a huge tearjerker. And it's just really good and really, really well done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I haven't done it, and I wish I had. And
no,
like I say, there's nothing you can say that's going to make me want to do it more. Mm-hmm. Like, I am sold in it. I really want to do it. Like, this is, it's what I want from WoW.
Yeah.
If there was a mandatory currency involved with it, like if it was mandatory and if it gave me 1,000 Fizzlebob power for my Fizzlebob, which I need to keep up to date with, because, I would have done it.
Yeah.
And I would have enjoyed the game more because I would have done it.
Yeah.
And so, because I don't have to do it, I'm like, I don't have time to do it, but I know that I will enjoy it. Yeah. And I know that I will have a good video game experience doing it. Mm-hmm. And I know that, in many ways, like my life will be better if I do it. And is this an example of where if you did attach some Fizzlewib power to it, it would have actually made me enjoy the game more because I would have done something that is definitely fun, which I've found ways to avoid doing, like without the Fizzle Whizzle power.
So here's the thing.
I might stop calling it Fizzle Whizzle power.
I like Fizzle Whizzle power though.
Cool.
And here's the thing. Like what would I normally log on for in WoW? Like, well, way back when I would have logged in like you to kind of keep up my character for heroic raiding, make sure, I would have been a hunter, got to do all the mechanics, got to stay like, powerful and limber and nimble. And, so I would have been doing that. I would have done Mythic Plus and stuff. Now, I don't have to do, well, I'm not raiding, but I don't have to prepare for those things. I can still gear up and get all my stuff without doing those things. And then just from like a fun perspective, I would be kind of farming like transmogs and things. I've already got a sick transmog and it dropped from like it's like just the greens that drop for you. They just look incredible. And so, yeah, like that incentive kind of isn't there for me in the same way. It's like I've gotten it. Like I've already gotten the things that I would want to get. There's more. There's always more I could get, but I'm already like, because the general design of the game has just been just upped, in terms of like visual and story and like content amount. But because of that, like I'm already at a level where I'm quite happy and I don't feel like I need to log in.
And I don't know this for sure, but I suspect that if I did have to log in to get my Fizzle Whizzle power, like whether these things gave Fizzle Whizzle power or not, I think I would have done more snail races. Yeah. And I think I would have done more sniffing niffing games. Because when I'm in game, I'm like, oh, okay, I should do a sniffing niffing because, they're really fun. I really like them. When I'm in game, that's when I go, oh, I should do some dragon races and these things that I enjoy. But they're not things that I log in for. No. So like having that kind of, the artifact power grind or whatever to get you in.
Yeah.
And I feel like the problem is obviously, and this doesn't need reiterating, but like obviously WoW went far too far with it. Mm-hmm. I think people enjoyed it generally as a grind in Legion. Mm-hmm. People's memories of Legion and how fondly they think of it is, and I know there's lots to do with that, but that was one of the things I think. And then obviously they kind of bastardized the system and made it a bit weird in BFA and with a system that didn't really work and like literally. And Shadowlands, it didn't have like a currency grind like that, but it did have mandatory content that made you, it made certain parts of the content mandatory that you had to go and do. And, it was the right thing to do in Dragonflight to wipe that off the map and just
absolutely.
to go like, no, none of this anymore.
That's
it's
what we
all
asked
gone.
for.
Yeah, it's
we
what
were
we
like,
asked
please
for.
get rid of that.
And like Blizz did the absolute right thing by going, that's what you want? Awesome. Vroom. Just to show that they could and that they weren't like these obstinate kind of, you know, like,
we know what you want.
Yeah,
right?
totally, exactly. And it was absolutely the right thing to do. Dragonflight is a brilliant game because of it. You know, like it's genuinely good, not because it's what we asked for, because it's like a really good game.
Oh God, yeah.
I guess no one would have asked for dragon riding.
No, exactly. No. I'm not saying that like we know what we want. Like I do agree that the devs have a better idea.
Yeah, totally. Well, my first reaction to dragon riding, but this came from like a distrust of Blizzard, right?
Yeah,
so my first reaction to dragon riding was, oh yeah, I can't wait to like be gliding pathetically for like months and months before you unlock the ability to like take off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no, and you know, they surprised me. They did it completely right, as they have done with everything in Dragonflight. But now I'm at the stage in 10.1 where, you know, I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of this great content for content's sake because I feel like I do need that extra carrot.
Yeah,
I feel like I do need someone to go, have you done your Fizzle Whistle power?
Yeah.
You haven't done your Fizzle Whistle power this week.
I know.
Get in, do your Fizzle Whistle power. And it's like, okay, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I do need to go and do my Fizzle Whistle power. I'm not happy about it. I'll moan about it online.
Exactly.
But I'll do it. And then I'll get in there and I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to do some PvP while I'm here. And I'm going to do some like some niffing games and some stuff like that. Sorry, everything is a sniffing game for me. The reason we haven't streamed for 18 days.
Oh God.
And the reason the video, like, I'm obviously quite ill. That's why we're sat so far away from each other. This
isn't for effect. It's just literally so I don't get the germs. No, but like I need that thing where I'll be like, you know, making dinner or something, and my mind will go somewhere, and I'll be like, ooh, I should top up my Fizzle Whistle power tonight, you know, or like we wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm gonna grind some Fizzle Whistle power tonight.
I really regret calling it Fizzle Whistle power now, but I mean, we have to go with it. We can't. Yeah,
it's never going away now. But I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, like I'm kind of missing the thing that I should be told to do.
The
like
thing
I need
that we
someone
identified as the thing WoW was doing wrong. Yeah. It was doing it wrong, but it wasn't the wrong thing. You know, like I feel like you know. This is why I'm logging into Diablo. I've completed the campaign. You know, that's usually what I do in a Diablo game. The gameplay is boring to me now. I'm not really enjoying it. I have to keep making hardcore characters because that's the only way it's like exciting to me. But I'm logging in so I can get my Paragon points. Yeah. You know, I've got points to spend on a tree for the next 50 levels. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, load me up, and I'm getting 4 of them per level, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's just that constant, that thing is in reach, that next marker is in reach of power, that next, you know, and like
renown doesn't do that for me because it's a lot of non-essential rewards,
just like it should be.
Just like exactly.
Yeah, I don't think renown should be anything else. No,
I agree. But so there isn't the thing that's like ticking away, that's like wheedling in my brain, being like, Evie, you need to log in and power up this thing because it's not there anymore. Yeah, and I'm like, phew, it's not there anymore. But also I'm like, it's not there anymore.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Oh no. You're going to say it.
In 10.2, if 10.2 is announced, right, and Blizz were like, also coming in 10.2, artifact power.
Fizzle Whistle power.
Fizzle Whistle power. With some very, very specific caveats, I wouldn't be against it.
I know. I would kind of like it. I would be like, ooh, yeah.
Is it fair to say, Evitel? By the way, we did not decide that this is where this conversation was going to go. We didn't talk about this at all. We were like,
we shouldn't
we've got a sponsor video that needs to be out. We need to go out and do. I was like, look, can we test the 2-camera setup again? Let's just talk about something, right? So I did not know we were going to get here, but would it be fair to say, Evie, that you would actually appreciate WoW becoming a bit more like a job?
Yes. Yes, I would.
This is the end of our careers.
Yeah, I know.
Like, maybe, my God, we can't publish this video.
No, maybe this is just my personality where I'm like, no. I know exactly what I want. I'm going to choose what I want. I have absolute freedom, huge amount of choice. But I secretly do want someone to tell me to do something, like to do.
It's true, she does.
Yeah, but I just want someone to be like, Evie, I need Farah, I need someone in my headset being like, guys, how's your fizzle whizzle power looking? And me just going like,
yeah.
Or like little ears.
You just don't like being told off.
No, I don't
like being. Oh
no,
my goodness, you're such a teacher's pet.
I am.
Oh my goodness.
And I just need someone to be like, oh, so how's your fizzle whizzle power? And I need to like run on spite and get all the fizzle whizzle power. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I mean, our channel, obviously. And when I say our channel, I mean Squarespace's channel. These guys have been sponsoring loads of vids, including this one, and for that we are... Thanks, guys. So, I've been getting really excited about merch. I mean, have you seen those wine coolers? The custom body wash? I mean, if I could bottle the essence of Tally, it would... You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I just need to put my head down and go through the Printful catalog properly and start setting up shop, which is thankfully so simple through Squarespace. Just click link and you're good to go. Just like embedded videos, integrated social accounts, Squarespace has it down when it comes to easily integrating and enhancing your website. Speaking of enhancement, your rotation is in for a big change. Just kidding. No one plays enhancement. But for realsies, Squarespace has a whole library of extensions designed to build and enhance your website, especially when it comes to merch and e-commerce. Look at this: ShipStation, Shippo, MYOB, but also loads of extensions specifically to manage your shiny new merchandise like Printful, but also Printify and Printique. Let's not forget Sinky, Spocket, and Spod. Using Squarespace extensions means I can create custom merch and have it integrated across other platforms and channels, all while selling on my own site. All these extensions make selling your merchandise an absolute breeze. Want to Shopify the shop bop on the Spacey Square site? Just head to squarespace.com to set up your own shop with a free website trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Taliesin Evitel and use code Taliesin Evitel to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/Taliesin Evitel.
Here's that essence you wanted.
Ew.
Hey, wait, there's an argument that doesn't Mythic Plus do that? Doesn't like filling out your vault and everything do that? Isn't that because people will say like, what about your vault?
Yeah, but like you can get stuff outside of the vault.
Yeah, true. And also vault is not a solo thing.
No.
What you want, you want a solo thing.
Yeah, I need the solo.
Yeah.
Oh. That might just be me, but I feel like that sentence.
I feel like we should clarify. Like, we are not trying to speak for the community.
Oh God, no.
Here, like, we are giving our own personal views, and they are at this stage pretty unformulated view. That's not fair. We have thought about this quite a lot, but we are talking. We're not scripting this.
I've never said it out loud like this, but if it came back, like I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, I genuinely wouldn't mind. But then, like I say, I think it would make me engage in the other content in Zaralek a lot more.
Exactly.
Which is really good. And that's the thing. Like, I think, people are generally a bit disappointed is the wrong word, but people aren't buzzed about 10.1.
There's just a plateau, isn't there?
Well, maybe,
and I think that's normal.
Yeah, I guess
right?
so.
You have the opener and it's amazing. There's the hype, right? This is the hype cycle. And now it's just kind of like it's just kind
and it doesn't matter so much because literally next week 10.15 comes out, which is very different again. Like, it's going to take you out of the cavern. It's going to get you out doing like time rifts and the Chromie dailies and stuff, which are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eon's Fringe is open and is centered around that. The mythic megadungeon is
Ian
really
has
good.
a fringe.
Ian could rock some bangs.
Yeah, he'd look amazing.
Ian, mate, just consider it. So I mean, okay. Look, I don't want this to be T&E say we should have like artifact power back,
God,
right?
No.
But all I'm saying is something like it, some kind of continuous power progression, and that's the important thing.
I need the numbers.
It does have to be mandatory in that sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And so I think where BFA and Shadowlands went wrong was it tried to make what should have been optional content mandatory by putting the mandatory currency behind that content. And I did not enjoy Torghast until they took that out.
Yeah, and then it was just like whatevs.
Exactly. And because it was mandatory currency, they had to limit it, right? So you would do exactly 2 Torghast runs a week.
Yeah, of course.
There's no point doing more.
Yeah.
If you did less, you were a scrub. If you did more, you were an idiot.
Yeah. I remember that feeling.
And the second they took away the limits on the currency, and the currency also wasn't as important, and you could get it from other places, I did loads of Torghast, and I loved it. Yeah. And so, and likewise, if there had been, I did exactly 3 island expeditions a week, and quite enjoyed them.
Yeah, they're fun.
But no more, no less.
I would never do more than that. Nope.
Exactly. And the content that was there was good. It was the way you were forced into it that was bad. And I would, I feel like if I had that grind to log into, everything else was kept non-mandatory, as it should be. I don't know, I feel like I would end up doing more of that stuff. Just like I did with Torghast when it became non-mandatory.
Yeah.
I
think you're onto something. I don't hate it.
No, it's not a terrible idea, is it? I'm sure people in the comments will agree. I'm sure the comments will be a wash and a buzz with people agreeing, saying, "Oh my God, you're right. We do need fizzle whizzle power. Load me up."
It's just a thought.
It's just a thought. A game thought. But yeah, do you know what? I quite like this. I quite like this setup. I think it's quite nice. So here's the plan, right? I've been experimenting with this, and I think what I really want to do is, like, videos like this are all very well and good, but what I really want to do is, that we stream over on Twitch, and that's like gameplay streams and just chatting and stuff. What I really want to do is, I'd love to do a kind of a more podcasty setup here on the main channel. And I'd love to do this right now with what we're doing, but live, as a kind of a live podcast sort of thing. I'd have a little laptop and we can keep up with the chat and stuff and like talk about the news of the day. I've got some good ideas for some interesting guests, like regular guests who could come on and sort of, but like, how about a 2-camera live stream podcast setup? Would that work?
I've enjoyed this, Tally. I feel like I could do it again.
Yeah, me too. Oh, good. Okay, good.
Just top up my coffee and I'll be good.
Look, I think this is a valuable conversation anyway, and I'm glad we got that out of this experiment. I like this setup experiment.
In summary, 10.1, not a flop.
Wow,
But
it sounds
floppy?
like the kind of thing that people are going to have to let us know in the comments below.
Not a flop, but sometimes floppy, and but actually not.
Not a flop, but not always as rigid as you'd like.
But like really good. But there are things about it. I feel like this is kind of, we're all maturing as a community, as like a gameplay base.
Speak for yourself, babe.
Yeah. Like you literally just made a.
I just made a dick joke. We've been making sex innuendos all the way through this video. Yeah. I don't know who's maturing. It's not me.
But in terms of actual like gameplay in the game, our lives change. The way we play the game changes. What we want from the game might change as well, right?
Yeah,
and because but times change.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all like normal. I just think it's been interesting to talk about like what we actually want and what we log in for.
Yeah.
Like why are we playing the game now? And yeah, it might be different in the next patch as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I am looking forward to 10.1.5. Again, I'm not allowed to say this because I haven't done the Blue Dragonflight questline, but the thing I'm looking forward to most is the story and like the progression of the plot. And the plot is kind of crystallizing into a more kind of working towards like the end of the expansion kind of plot now, which I think is good and healthy.
Yeah.
I really like the baddies of the expansion.
Yeah.
I really like what 10.15 is going to be all about. I think 10.2 will be announced soon. I think that's going to be Emerald Dream, and I think it's going to be like really big and like really special, and I think people are going to love it. And I can't actually think of anything that I don't like about 10.1, but I think I do agree with the general malaise around it, and it's interesting to talk about why that might be. But what do you think, guys? Now you've listened to us, let us listen to you. Write down why we're right or wrong, and why we look nice or why we look ugly in the comments below. And let us know what you think about this format as well, and like any ideas you have that we could improve it and get it ready for stream. How would you like to see us stream with this format? And it'll be like a weekly kind of thing, an organized weekly thing at a certain time.
Sit down, book it in, just like the grind 2.0.
Yeah, it'd be much better than the grind.
Better than the grind.
It would be, because it would be this. It'd be no gameplay. It would be like just talking about news and events and maybe a topic and things like that. I think it could be really good.
Oh,
I think it'd be really good. Plus, I think streaming on YouTube more might be a good idea for some reason.
Well, let's give it a try.
But yes, thank you for joining us today. If you liked this episode, don't thank us, thank our patrons who still give their actual real life money to make all of our work happen. When we do this setup again and the lighting is much better because I've got a proper lantern to actually like do a whole light, and we're not working on like the wrong kind of lights. Thank the patrons for that when that happens. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is Anne Stickney.
Oh.
I'm sorry I haven't done the quests. I want to and I will. And when I do, you better believe I'm going to talk about it.
You haven't stopped talking about it and you haven't even played it yet.
I'm going to have some words to say about that. Are there cutscenes in it?
Oh, yeah, babe.
In-game cutscenes with my character? Because that's my favourite thing about WoW. Listen, okay, forget Fizzle Wizard Power. My favourite thing about WoW right now is, like, say you'll be with the Black Dragon Bros, and the Black Dragon Bros will be like, you know, bro, you're okay, bro. And they'll be like, yeah, you know, bro, I thought you were a douche, but it turns out you're okay, bro. And then, oh, yeah, I agree, bro, you're really cool. And my character be there like, yeah. Like, that's my when my character pops up in a, like, it's cool when they do something actiony. I really like that as well. Yeah. But my favorite, like, version of me in a cutscene is literally just like, yeah. I did that. I love that stuff. Yeah, so good. Really cool. Anyway, sorry if that's in it, I'm doing it.
Do it.
I'll just pretend I'm getting Fizzle Wizard Power. From me, Taliesin.
And me, Evitel.
Cheerio.